Two South Jersey men are now on trial in Brooklyn federal court for their alleged involvement in one of the largest heroin smuggling rings in the world. They call it the Sicilian Connection. It's a connection that begins in Sicily, spans the globe, and in this country is allegedly headquartered in South Jersey, where we went recently to take a closer look. The American side of the Sicilian Connection begins here in the Delran and Cherry Hill area, among the South Jersey suburban sprawl of highways dotted with pizza parlors and restaurants. And it focuses on two brothers, Rasario and Giuseppe Gambino.
The Gambinos, known as the Cherry Hill Gambinos, are distant cousins of Carlo Gambino, third cousins to be exact. They've been in the New Jersey area since early 1970s and also have made some inroads into Pennsylvania.
Frank Booth of the Pennsylvania Crime Commission has probed the Gambino brothers' operation of a string of pizza shops and restaurants in the South Jersey and Philadelphia areas. But according to a federal grand jury indictment, the Gambinos aren't only involved in the restaurant business, they're also allegedly involved in heroin smuggling. In the trial underway in Brooklyn federal court, the Gambinos and several others face charges of attempting to smuggle more than $139 million worth of heroin into this country, and that was just in 3 alleged shipments. Authorities believe the Gambino brothers are the American kingpins of a smuggling operation that has shipped hundreds of millions of dollars worth of heroin into this country, an operation that is the prime supplier of heroin to the streets of the Northeast and Midwest United States. According to drug enforcement agents, longtime organized crime figures in Sicily get opium supplies from Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran, and then refine it in labs located in Italy and Sicily. From there it travels into New York, in everything from cars and furniture to olive oil tins. In fact, many authorities believe the Sicilian Connection began where the famous old French Connection left off. Some of the same people, including the top chemist of the French Connection, are now believed to be involved in the Sicilian operation. But officials say the Sicilian Connection is much bigger. A recent congressional report estimates that 1,000 tons of opium was produced in this southwest region of Asia in 1979 alone, fueling an operation they say is the greatest heroin threat to the United States since the dominance of the French and Mexican connections during the 1970s. Federal drug authorities reportedly first got wind of the Sicilian Connection and its dimensions when agents seized 2 shipments of heroin at Kennedy International Airport in August of 1979. Both had come from Italy. Then shortly thereafter, they were able to get an informant to infiltrate the alleged Gambino gang. What followed was a tense international cat and mouse game with the informant tagging alongside and tape recording the alleged drug runners, and with federal agents tailing the informant. The trail led here to Cherry Hill and to New York, New York, the restaurant and nightclub the Gambinos operate. The trail also led here to Sal's Pizza Restaurant along Route 130 in Delran. It's operated by the Gambinos, and law enforcement officials say it's long been a popular meeting place for the Gambinos and their associates. Law enforcement officials declined to talk to us on camera about the drug charges against the Gambinos, fearing they might prejudice the case. But Frank Booth was able to talk about the Pennsylvania Crime Commission report released last year that cited the Gambino brothers among organized crime figures involved in the pizza industry.
The Gambinos have a small role in that industry in that they have had pizza shops in the Philadelphia area, in Camden, New Jersey, even in the state of Delaware.
A number of fires of suspicious origin have plagued some of the Gambinos' operations and pizza shops in general, but Booth declined any specific comment.
Arson is a problem. It's prevalent in that industry, and I really think we better limit it to that at this point. What our investigation did find, again speaking more broadly, was that there was excessive skimming of profits out of the pizza shop industry, which developed, as a matter of fact, in the early 70s when many other fast food businesses developed.
Booth says the investigation of the pizza industry and arson problems continue, but the charges the Gambinos face this week involve heroin. And testimony over the next couple of weeks, especially that coming from the reported informant in the case, is expected to reveal new details about the Gambinos' alleged role in drug smuggling. The Gambinos, along with the several cousins and other alleged conspirators on trial with them, face up to 15 years in jail and fines of $25,000. The informant in the case, it turns out, is a cargo employee for Alitalia Airlines and a Sicilian native. He reportedly tape-recorded the Gambinos secretly. Still, federal authorities say this international drug ring is so well-entrenched and so lucrative that even if the current case against the Gambinos and 12 others is successful, it may be only one small nick in their efforts to sever the Sicilian connection.